You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
Welcome to the Hot Options Report, your premier source for insight into the fast-moving options market. Each day, we'll track down the products that are dominating the options chains and impacting your trading account, from Nvidia to VIX and everything in between. If it's lighting up the options tape, then you'll find it on the Hot Options Report.
All right, everybody, it's time to get down to business for another Hot Options Report. My name, of course, Mark Longo from theoptionsinsider.com, as well as from the network upon which all of you folks are binging. Reminding you here at the top of the show, make sure you're subscribed to the full network, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And, of course, make sure you're going above and beyond with theoptionsinsider.com/pro. The clock ticking to get your name in the hat for the October Pro Trading Crate. Also, rumors abound of an upcoming Vol Deathmatch 2.0. You definitely want to check that out. theoptionsinsider.com/pro. The place to go to learn more. As we learn what's lighting up the tape in the options market today, another day where the ongoing market shutdown doesn't seem to be weighing on the major indices. All the major indices firmly in the green. Vol coming back to earth. VIX cash closing 1730, off about 1.3 points on the day, putting up 608,000 contracts out there in VIX land today. So kind of a light day. The ADV is 858. Another day where we started out strong and then kind of whimpered in the second half of the session. In fact, I think you're going to see that in a lot of the major indices today. What was the hot option? And a decently active, but not blowing the doors off day in VIX land. It was DEES 16 puts. This was an interesting one. Average price for these, about 45 cents. These were so interesting to us, we put them out to our audience today. That poll is still alive. If you follow us at Options, you can play along. We said, quite simply, D16 puts in VIX, 45 cents. Are you a buyer or sold to you? Our audience is having a hard time with this one. Right now, buyers slightly taking it, 57.1%, 42.9% saying sold to you. I guess that's what makes a market as we keep on rolling out to SPY. Listeners, SPY having a good day, rallying over 0.5%, nearly 0.6%. Closing today, 671.76, putting up pretty much exactly 9 million contracts. That's slightly light. The ADV is right around 9.6 million. Again, started out of the gate hot, and then second half of the session kind of petered out. The hot option out there in SPY land today, nearly 600,000, 592,000 of the 672 calls. Average price for these, 42 cents, listeners. So you know the deal. 672s. A bit optimistic if you rode them into the close. If you got out of them earlier, though, probably looking okay. As we keep on rolling out to the SPX, listeners, the S closing today, 67.38.44, up nearly 40 handles, or almost 0.6%. So again, shut down. What shut down? Putting up 3.82 million contracts against an ADV of about 4.4. So coming in slightly light in the S as well. The hot option out there today, 207,000. Of these 67.50 calls. Average price for these, $1.74. You know what I'm going to say once again. If you bought these and rode them into the close, maybe not a happy camper, but you had opportunities intraday to get the heck out of Dodge. As we keep on rolling out to small caps, another banger day in small caps, gaining almost 1.25%, actually 1.27% today. So a hot day in small caps, closing today, 246.42. Small caps putting up almost 1.7 million contracts today, 1.68 million contracts. So a hot day. That's pretty much right in line with the inflated ADV, which is 1.65 million. So a decently active day in small caps. And the hot option out there today, 111,247 calls. So expiring today, not November this time. Average price for these, about 16 cents. You know the deal. If you bought these and rode them through the close, probably not a happy camper here. As we keep on rolling out to the NASDAQ, was it a hot day in the Qs? You know it was, listeners. Popping nearly 0.85% today, closing 610.58, putting up about 4.7 million contracts, pretty much right in line with expectations. The ADV is about 4.8 million. And the hot option out there, 260,000 of the 610 calls. Average price for these, about 75 cents. So you had opportunities for these, even if they didn't go out exactly. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, let's keep on rolling to the single names. Listeners, was it a hot day for single name equity options? The answer was, it was all right. 508,000 contracts is what it cost you to break into the top 10. That gets us to our old pal strategy, aka MSTR. We call it around these parts. The monster, looking a little bit more monstrous today. 284.92 is where it went out, rallying about 1.5%, putting up 508,000 contracts for the number 10 spot. The hot option out there, 33,000 of the 310 calls expiring tomorrow. Average price for these, 32 cents. So 310s, listeners. That's quite optimistic. The high for today was about 289, so 310s, 32 cents. You like those? Or maybe you're saying sold to you. We'll keep an eye on those as we keep on going to number 9. We're going out to Quantum Land. It's Rigetti. 526,000 contracts on the tape. Rigetti closing 39.59, up about $3.50 or nearly 10%. So once again, a good day to be hanging out in Quantum Land. 526,000 contracts on the tape. The hot option out there, 22,000 of the 40 calls expiring tomorrow. And these were in the money earlier today. By the way, they went up, average price of $1.71. And the high today was $41.96. So these were looking okay. Not where we closed, though. So if you bought these earlier in the session, maybe you're kind of regretting it right now. You still have a whole day. Anything could happen in Quantum Land as we keep on rolling to number 8, 558 on the tape. For good old SMCI, selling off a bit today, closing 47.92, off about $4.60 or nearly 9%. Not a great day for SMCI. Again, 558,000 contracts on the tape. And the hot option out there, 22,000 of the 56 calls expiring tomorrow. Average price for these, 3 cents. So there was some OI on these. These are probably closing. Let's hope so. Then again, if you bought them, you want to take a flyer for one day. I mean, 56 seems kind of wild right now, but maybe they looked a little better earlier in the session. But either way, even if you bought them, only 3 cents. As we keep on rolling out to number 7, it's the fruit company Apple. Once again, flirting with that 260 level, closing 259.58, up $1.13 or almost 0.5%, putting up 581,000 contracts. The hot option out there, you know, it's the 260s, going up 63,000 times. Average price for these, $1.38, listeners. This is another one where they were in the money earlier today. 260.62 was the high. So they were looking decent. Not quite where we closed, though, so we'll keep an eye on these as we keep on rolling to number 6, keeping it in the A tech names. It's AMD, putting up 610,000 contracts, listeners. AMD closing pretty much 235, up about 4 3/4 or about 2%. So a good day for them. The hot option in AMD today, 49,000 of the 240s. Average price for these, nearly $1.97. So 240, that seems quite optimistic. The high today, a little bit shy of 236. So we didn't kiss 240 today, but they were opening. So it's like somebody might be rolling the bones there. We'll keep an eye on those in AMD as we keep the A tech love alive. For number 5, it's the Amazonians. 638,000 contracts on the tape today. Amazon closing 221.09, up 314 or about 1.5%, putting up 638,000 contracts out there, listeners. And the hot option out there in Amazon, 72,000 of the 222 half calls. Say that 5 times fast. Average price for these, 87 cents. Looks like somebody once again rolling the bones in the Amazonians. We'll keep an eye on those as we keep on rolling to number 4. Speaking of rolling the bones, it's Intel. Intel heading into earnings after the bell. Closing today, 38.16, up $1.25 or 3.3%. Putting up 1.02 million contracts. So Intel earnings attracting a lot of action. they're popping off after the bell and looking pretty good. The stock's over 41 in the after hours, up nearly $3. So looking pretty good. That might make those 40s we saw going up today 30,000 times look a little better. Average price for these, 85 cents. So some folks were definitely rolling the bones on Intel, knocking the cover off the ball after the bell. Seems like they're happy right now. We all know no after hours options trading, at least for right now. SIBO making some filings to potentially change that. But right now, can't close these. So we'll see what Intel opens tomorrow as we check in on it on our hot options report for Friday. But before we get there, let's keep rolling to number 3, listeners. It's Beyond Meat, an absolutely wild name, but on a wild roller coaster ride. Check out our option block show from today where we talk about this name with the Flow Master, putting up 1.65 million contracts. Today, Beyond Meat closing 284, off about $0.75, or about 21%. So again, it was almost $7.50 yesterday. So absolutely wild stuff out there in Beyond Meat. The hot option in Beyond Meat today, 109,000 of the 4 calls. Average price for these, 34 cents, listeners. So 4 calls. Well, they got a little ways to go. Stock did get to 372 today, so they were within spitting distance, but not looking great at the time of the closing bell. As we keep on going to number 2, it's Nvidia. Nearly 2 million contracts on the tape for Nvidia today. Nvidia closing 182.16, up about $1.90 or about 1%. The hot option, 133,000 of the 182 half calls. Average price for these, $1.32. No joy where we closed. They were $0.50 in the money earlier today, though, so we'll keep an eye on these as we keep on rolling to number 1. You know what it is. It's Tesla. They had earnings last night. Obviously going to drive a lot of flow. 4.31 million contracts changing hands in Tesla, so an absolute banger day. Tesla closing 448.98, rallying $10 pretty much exactly, or about 2.25%. So the market, after shellacking them down to 420 in the after hours last night, rallying them hard today again. That's why you have to take some of the after hours markets with a grain of salt a little bit, listeners. But Tesla putting up some numbers today. The hot option, 182,000 of the 4 halves, the 450s. Been talking about this strike for a while. Average price for these, $3.59. We kissed it today, 449.40. Didn't quite get there. Once again, if you were rolling the bones on these and you rode them all the way into the close, maybe you're regretting it. But then again, we do have another session tomorrow. Tesla can go anywhere, so we'll keep an eye on these. That is going to do it for your hot options report for Thursday, October 23rd. Hope you're having a good trading week. See you back here tomorrow. Talk some vol on volatility views. Talk some unusual activity on options oddities. Make sure you're checking out the pro if you want to get that one, theoptionsinsider.com/pro. Then we're back again to wrap up the week tomorrow. Another episode of the Hot Options Report. Stay safe out there, everybody.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.